Hey there, Saguto golfers. Tom Saguto here, PGA member, founder of Saguto Golf. We're talking about the 7 deadly sins of the golf swing. These sins, if you commit them, they'll put your golf swing on the path of destruction. These 7 deadly sins are so common in the average golfer's swing, so we're going to take a look at each one and a brief way on how you can fix it. Deadly golf swing sin number 1. Rolling the hands in the takeaway. The first 3 feet of the golf swing can set your swing up for success or failure. Rolling the hands is one of the worst things you can do in the beginning of your swing. What that looks like is where someone takes the club back and you see this. You see an immediate disconnect of the left arm off the side, the lead arm, and then you see the club in this toe-up position. What happens when we do this is a couple of things. 1, the club face is square at address, pointed to the target. When you roll your hands, this is what happens. It opens. It points away from your body. So you take the club back, you roll the face open. When you get back to the ball, the face is open. No wonder why your ball starts to the right. And that's not the only problem with this. You've lost your connection with your arms and your body. So now your arms and your body are not working together. And what happens is you roll, next thing, lift, next thing, chop. Over the top, going miles off the planet. Block City, see you later, alligator. To eliminate this dreadful problem and purge it from your golf swing forever, do this simple drill. Take the butt of the club, and I want you to focus on pointing the butt of the club at your belt throughout the entire first part of the golf swing, the first 3 feet. If you point it at your belt, you will never roll your hands. And the club face should be angled slightly down toward the ground. That indicates you didn't do anything with it. You didn't roll your hands, you didn't disconnect anything. You want everything working together. That's what creates happy golfers. That's what prevents you from being a golf sinner. You keep everything quiet, you take it back, club face angled down means it's square. Gives you a better chance when you come back to the ball of being square. Make sure the butt of the club points to the belt line. Might even look at the butt of the club while I swing to make sure I never roll. So I could look at it, not really caring about the result, but just think about the butt of the club. Oh, it's a pretty good shot. I'm actually looking at the butt of the club right there. Make sure it points at your belt. You got to resist the urges. I know, temptation is hot to roll those hands. Deadly golf swing sin number 2. Shifting and swaying. Shifting and swaying is one of the most offensive golf swing sins you could commit, and here's why. If you want to ever be consistent at golf, you've got to have the same point of contact every single time. The golf swing is a circle, so if I ever do any shifting or swaying off of the golf ball, I move my contact point constantly back and forth. This stick represents my contact point. If I turn my shoulders in a circle around my body, that contact point will stay in the same spot every single time. I'll hit it crispy all day long. Most of you are taught to shift your weight into your trail leg for power. You shift, you shift, you shift, and that leads to the sway. And now look, I'm off the ball. The contact point is here, I am here, contact point is behind the ball now. Now you're looking at a chunk shot unless you shift or sway back enough to the other side. To avoid committing this tragic, terrible sin, we must rotate instead of sway. And what does that mean? It means you got to have some weight on your front leg and you've got to rotate around that front leg. Keeps you in one spot for one beautiful, delicious point of contact shot after shot. I guarantee you, if you keep your body in the same swing circle back and through, you'll hit some of the purest shots of your life. Deadly sin number 3. Lifting the arms. Lifting the arms is a horrible sin you can do in the golf swing. Well, if you lift up, you've got to chop on the downswing. And unless you want to be a wood chopper the rest of your life and never hit the ball with any power, you'll be stuck chopping. But you need to change your ways, and today's the day you change your ways. We've got to get the club away from a chop path, hacking all day long, into a path where you send that ball to the target with as much power as possible, with the wrath of God. How do we do that? We change your path. We got to start getting the backswing from being so vertical where your arms are above your shoulder line. Yeah, the misconception here is if I lift my arms really high, I create all this magical width that I can use on the golf ball. And that's all it is. It's just a bunch of magical width. It's nothing for you because you got to lift your arms and then you got to drop them in the slot and then you got to hit the ball. Once again, another deception from the devil. Trying to coordinate 3 motions right there is hell, and it will be. And for some of you, you spent 30 years in the golf swing hell for committing this tragic, terrible sin. We're going to eliminate it right now. And here's what you gotta do. You've got this beautiful lead arm, the left arm for the right-handed player. Make sure that you don't lift it off your body like this. You don't lift it up this way. See, lift is this in the golf swing, straight up. Woo! This is turn, this is around. See, hitting something should be like this, boom. Baseball on a tee, boom, boom. Imagine trying to high-five yourself chopping. Lift, lift. You're doing this too. Lift, drop in the slot, hit. That's exactly what's going on when you're standing straight up. If I bend down, it's the same thing. Lift, drop, hit, it's the same thing. Here's how we fix it. You gotta go around and put the club behind your back shoulder, behind your trail shoulder, behind the right shoulder for the right-handed player. You do that, you'll start hitting the ball a lot more directly. Not only that, you know that magical slot you're supposed to get in right here? It's already in it. And that's gonna lead to mega power on the way down. Boom, boom. Some of you are gonna do this and it's gonna feel like the club is around your belt line. That's normal because you're used to lifting that club so high up here and chopping down that it's gotta feel weird for you to do it right. So get in here, great way to practice it. Lineman stick, or you can take my favorite, range caddy. You'll never hit this thing, it makes such a loud noise. Stick it on the ground like this, place the ball in line with the range caddy, about 3 feet away, and then just don't hit it, swing under it. That'll force you to go around. Go around, miss the range caddy. Ooh, be good today. Crispy KFC. Deadly sin number 4. Level shoulder turn. Level shoulder turn is one of the worst things you can ever do for your golf swing and leads to a ton of tragedies. It is one of the most damning sins of the golf swing. One of the keys for making consistently good contact with the golf ball is maintaining your body's relationship to the ball throughout the swing. If you lose that relationship at any point, the swing is getting shot to hell, quite literally. Here's why. The relationship is maintained throughout the swing. Well, if I level out the relationship, whoop, level it, look what happens with the club. A lot of people do this early on like this. Level, and then on the downswing, you gotta find the relationship again, chop. So what you have is a situation where you create a ton of variables. That club could go anywhere, and the ball, we're not really sure where it's gonna go. So if you're in a land of WTF, I'm not sure where the ball is gonna go and I'm really confused, check your shoulders. The key to overcoming this deadly sin, this damning sin of the golf swing, is to point your lead shoulder at the ball in the backswing. This will keep the shoulder down. You want to be friends with the golf ball. You want to hit it well. You got to keep your body's angle to the golf ball. So we do that by trying to point the lead shoulder at the ball. This will get you out of Levelsville. This is hell in the golf swing. Trust me, I did this for years. It caused so much back pain. I did the level and the lift and the drop and the hit. Too much work. It is hell. What you got to do, down, turn it down, point the shoulder at the ball, hit. Keep your body's relationship to it. Keep the chest down. Deadly sin number 5, chopping at the golf ball. Chopping is the biggest problem I see among amateur golfers. But you know what? A lot of the things I talked about in the previous 4 sins could have caused you chopping. But chopping is this. It's in the downswing. The club is out in front of the body like this, and it's got only one place to go, down. And you spend your whole day axe chopping around. It's a lot of effort, and it kills your golf swing. Here's what it causes. The biggest cause I see, someone rolls the club, lifts up, chops down, and then on the way through, flip and fall back. That is like the most average golfer swing out there today, the flip and fall back. And it's all due to this chopping problem. But like I said, the chopping problem could have been caused by something early in your swing, such as the rolling of the hands and the takeaway. Avoid that. So how do we get rid of chopping forever in your game? Here's what we do. The range caddy, place it on the ground, and then you want to place it just where we did with the other drill. You just don't want to touch this on the downswing. You choppers out there, that's gonna hit and leave a mark. You'll never do it again. You might even draw the ball for a change. And that's something you would love. I know you would love that. You've been chopping for a while. Get rid of this evil sin by missing this on the way down. And avoid it as much as possible. You don't want to hit the caddy, it's your best friend. All right, I missed it. So the club goes way under and your path goes out to right field. And you know what? I hit that a little thin, but I don't care because the path was a really in to out path And the more in and out you swing, the more shallow the swing, not steep, but shallow. So you're probably gonna hit some thin shots, some top shots, but you'll never be chopping and you hit the ball so much better. Golf swing deadly sin number 6, flipping the hands at impact. Flipping at impact is one of the worst things you can ever do for your golf swing. If you wonder why you never hit the ball consistently clean, it's because you're probably flipping at impact. Flipping causes me to flip out. You got this flip, poop, scoop at impact. We got this crazy angle between your lead hand and he breaks down. Everything shortens up. It's the source of a ton of inconsistency. You'll never be consistent if you flip at the golf ball. To get rid of this deadly sin, you've got to do the opposite. So flip, opposite of flip. When you flip, the club goes ahead of the hands. When you don't flip, the hands go ahead of the club and the arms stay straight. And here's why it's a big deal. When you flip, my contact point could be virtually anywhere. If I flip at the right time, then I get lucky. But if I don't flip at the right time, then I screw up. You can play your whole golf game trying to time up good impact just by flipping around. Stop flipping around. You're gonna make me flip out and you're gonna flip out. You're gonna keep flipping out. So how do we do this? Well, you got this beautiful thing in your trail hand, the right hand for the right hand player, called a wedge. If you want any chance of hitting it clean, you've got to maintain this wedge through the impact zone and through to the finish, especially when you're working on this awesome drill. We're just gonna hit some chip shots, take it back this far, maintain the wedge and finish with the wedge. Boom. There's no flipping, so you've got one contact point. Boom, boom. It gets really boring. You start hitting the same spot every single time. Boring golf is good golf. Hands forward. Now we're just gonna make sure wedge maintained through impact. Then you can kick it up a notch and do some full swings trying to keep the wedge. Golf swing deadly sin number 7, releasing the hands. Releasing the hands is one of the biggest problems I've ever seen among average golfers, and it causes you to always be inconsistent. If you're always hitting golf shots and you're not sure where they're going, check your release. The release is the point after the golf ball where the club passes the ball and then it gets to this point. Some people are taught to aggressively roll their hands after impact under the notion that you can actually draw the ball if you do that. Nothing could be more further from the truth. See, the club face controls the start direction of the golf ball. So if I'm aggressively rolling my hands through this 0.1 millisecond in time at impact, if I got to roll my hands through here, I'm not sure where that golf ball is going. Plus, to get your hands involved at this point in the swing, the most important point, contact, to get them doing something conscious, good luck being consistent. It takes superb pro-like timing. I'm talking 10,000 balls a day timing to always have it figured out. And that's why you don't see a lot of players aggressively rolling the hands after impact. It's a huge illusion that you see on TV. After impact, the release looks like this. You see the back of the player's hand, the back of the pro's hand like this. So you're led to believe, perhaps they rolled their hand. I can see the back of their hand. No, if you just keep the club face square through impact, you won't roll your hands at all. The club will get here, but it's not this, no turning over. Whew, that's a lot of hand action late in the swing. It does nothing with the curve of the ball. It has everything to do with the start direction of the golf ball. So if you hit the ball left a lot for the right-handed player, you might be rolling your hands a ton. But this also goes hand in hand with the player in the beginning who does the rolling of the takeaway. So if you roll your hands in the takeaway, toe up, face is now open. So it makes sense that someone would teach you to roll your hands on the way through. Because you're open here, you got to roll them back to square. This is how this becomes a problem. But you could eliminate the entire problem and get more consistent if you don't roll your hands in the takeaway and you don't roll your hands on the way through. You eliminate the variables. And that's why it's such a deadly sin. Eliminate the need for you to have to do any variables with the hands and just take the hands out of it. You'll hit it plenty powerful. There's the other misconception, that the release adds power. Well, it doesn't really add anything. Try releasing a hammer into a nail. All you do is you turn the hammer over and you look like an idiot. But if you just take a hammer and bang it in the nail, no release, it's the most power you can give it to a nail. Same thing with the golf ball. The golf ball is the nail. The nail is this way into the golf ball. You try and send the nail to the target and you'll hit this thing miles, miles. Oh, that felt good. So stop making the game so hard on yourself. Just get out there, keep the hands quiet. So Saguto golfers, thank you for tuning in this evening. And if you enjoyed this episode, send it a like. Comment below if you tried out any of these tips and they work for you. Subscribe to this channel if you want to play the best golf of your life. You know the drill. On this channel, I'm helping you to make the most out of the game you love in a body-friendly and simplistic manner. We are done with the old sins of the past. You got to put on the new golfer and put away the destructive path you were on for the past 20 or 30 years. And if you haven't been playing golf that long, just eliminate the chance of you going down that destructive path and start working with concrete things that always work. Stop guessing. Make it easier on yourself. Simplify the system, and you'll be playing your best golf in no time. And if you're looking for a simplified way to play your best golf right now, check out my website, SagutoGolf, where I'll take you on a golf swing learning program from foundation to finish in short 3 to 5 minute videos showing you exactly how to do this. Thank you again for tuning in this evening, and I look forward to seeing you in a future episode. Have a rockin' week.